What's up, y'all? Mike back. Just really quick with this video because there's not a lot to talk about. To summarize the past week and a half, I turned in my stand and deliver take-home test, which I discussed in my last video if you've been watching. Basically, it was 10 questions. You had to select 5, do the research, put it on a Word document, email it or print it out and give it to the instructor. He basically said if you turned it in, you got full credit. Some guys went crazy and just had a bound book and turned that shit in. I did 1 or 2 pages, broke my stuff down, turned it in, got credit. Monday, we did the mechanical stand and deliver. Well, that's working on the machine, getting the readings off of the machine, taking your amp draws, taking your condenser and evaporator splits, him asking you the state of refrigerant at a certain part in the cycle, asking you what kind of metering device, what kind of compressor it's got. So on the stand and deliver, I got 100%. He flipped it over. There were, I think, like 6 questions. I missed 2 of those, so I got like a 95 on my stand and deliver mechanical checklist, which I'll show you after me speaking here at the end of the video. I'll put it on the table and show you what it looks like. Wednesday, nothing. We just chilled. We all went home early. Wednesday, the day of the final, I got to school, waited, and I was talking to my wife, went in at about 5. There was already people there taking the final, because after the final, you go home, there's nothing left to do. Took the final, got an 89.2. Didn't really sit right with me, because again, I studied the final checklist or the final exam review, back and front, but nevertheless, I finished the first phase, which is fundamentals of refrigeration. I finished it with a 95%, so I'm pretty happy with that. Thursday started the brand new class. We went into the class and they were doing orientation, so we got free pizza and water, which was cool, but it was basically me reliving the first night of school after my first month. But it's just because they incorporate that. But once everyone split off, we did the first 3.5 pages of notes for fundamentals of electricity. And the teacher said that this class is going to be very tedious. There's not a lot to you will be hands-on, but there's a shit ton of notes that you have to take. So I'm going to try to keep these videos as lively as possible. I know that I'm not a lively, outgoing individual on these videos. I know that I'm not spontaneous and bazow and shit like that. I'm not posting crazy shit up all the time. That's not me. I just try to keep it real with all y'all. I want to make this an unbiased, review of my time in school and how it's going. But it's just for us. Just trying to make it so that it's easy to understand. So, but yeah, first night of the fundamentals of electricity. This is a snoozer, damn. So, a few other things that popped up and I found out. So, at the beginning of October, there's a career fair. The hell if I can say the damn word. I'm gonna go to that and just kind of see what's out there, get my feet wet. Starting pays, stuff like that. I'm not saying I'm going to commit to anything, but I just want to kind of go and see what they have. Right now, I do work full-time for a larger retailer here in Arizona. Well, it's a national retailer, but I am a supervisor for within one of their call centers. So I do have an established job. I've been with this company for almost 5 years, and I'm not leaving the company. I just, I'm trying to make a transition to something different, something that I can build from and something I can learn from and start a business again and, do something other than sitting at a desk all day. But that's neither here nor there. I still have 8 months to go until I even consider anything different. But the career fair is basically to get my feet wet and, build contacts. And that's what I'm really good at, communication with individuals and building a contact and building resources. So I'm gonna go to that thing. I'll try to videotape. Damn, I'm 30 years old and I feel like I'm 55 sometimes. I'll try to record some video there, basically give you a rundown. But 2 weeks in advance. Damn, I cannot talk tonight, guys. I'm sorry. It's 11 o'clock and I'm tired. But 2 weeks before, there's a couple of the companies here in the Valley already had things set up. Like they had big ass trailers out there set up, for this event, because it's a pretty big event. It's for the whole refrigeration side of the school. So, it's pretty crazy. But I'm excited nevertheless. Last but not least, in the talking portion of this, I wanted to thank each and every one of you that have commented on my videos. I know in every video I ask you, if you're just stopping through, to leave a message and let me know what you think, or if you're subscribed, to continuously let me know what you think, if there's anything different I can do. And a few of you have basically said that, I'm thinking about going to HVAC school, but I'm unsure. One of you, which I'll try to name you somewhere, you indicated to me that you signed up, and I'm super proud of you. I hope to see that, you're successful in the career, you're successful in school, and I hope that your school gives you the same experience that I do. But I'm happy to see that, my video was able to help someone else hung on the fence like I was for years, because these types of videos didn't exist. I mean, I couldn't find shit. So I'm just happy to see that. Now again, I'm staying true to my word on this, guys. I'm not gonna monetize my videos. I'm not gonna ask YouTube for money. I'm not doing any of that. All I wanna do is do this for a simple fact that I wanna be helpful to someone. Like I said though, if somebody wants to sponsor a video, I'm cool with that. I'm not gonna ask for money from them. But if it's something related to the HVAC field, absolutely will I put them on this, so that we can grow that brand along with trying to grow this. And I would say share these videos if you have friends and family that are on the edge of wanting to go to HVAC school or even a trade school in that. So maybe we'll shift this from just HVAC school to trade schools in general. So I'm gonna stop talking. Again, please leave a like, a comment, thumbs up, subscribe, whatever you want to do. And then in the next video, I'm gonna try to do the mechanical walkthrough on my own system out back, and I want to talk more about the giveaway that I want to do. So I'm gonna get over here to the table with the 2 pieces of paper that I want to show you, so I can basically just do a closing on this first phase of HVAC school. All right, everybody, this is like the 7th time I've recorded this, so I'm just going to make this short and sweet. This is the mechanical checklist that we had to do both in class to familiarize ourselves with grabbing this information, and then this was also a duplicate of exactly what the test looks like. If for any reason my school wants this video down, I will take it down, because I do not know if they have this as a proprietary checklist, but there's no branding on it, so I don't think that there is. So basically, starting from the top down, you grab the AC number, the unit number, that's just for the class purpose. You grab the unit type, if it's an AC or a heat pump, and then what the refrigeration type. We only worked on R410A and R22. Your ambient temperature, which is obviously the temperature around you. Your static temperature, that's the high side connected to your unit without the unit running. That's going to give you your saturation temperature. You want to make sure that that matches the temperature of ambient temperature. With this unit running, then you'll go ahead and wait about 5 minutes within the class to let it get a complete cycle. You'll take your high side pressure and you'll take your low side pressure. Now obviously there is a way to sweep your gauges so that you don't get air and non-condensables, and I'll do a walkthrough on that as well, because I think that's something good to know. After you grab this information, you're going to walk down. Now the one thing I do want to kind of point out, when you put your gauges on a system, yeah, sure, you're looking at your pressures, but you're looking at your pressures to get your saturation temperature. Now, saturation temperature is the temperature of the refrigerant in the middle of in the middle of the coil, either in the evaporator or the condenser. So to show you on my gauges, you have your high side and you have your low side of your gauges. On the outer ring, this is the pressure with inside the unit. These internal rings have temperatures on it. It's relevant to the pressure. So this tells me, let's say I'm running 300 PSIG on my head and I'm working in an R22 system. That's going to let me know I'm running about 130 degrees Fahrenheit in the middle of my condenser, which is usually your outside unit on a home. That's what we're looking for in the field, and that's what we were looking for in the class, because what that does is it gives us this information: suction saturation temperature. So to get your superheat, you take the little thermocouple clamp that I purchased, you put it on your suction line, which is the bigger line on your system. Wait about a minute, get a good reading, put it there. You would take that number minus your saturation temperature and you get your superheat. Same on the liquid side, the smaller line. You take your high side saturation, which you got up here, right here, minus your liquid line, which you use the thermocouple on the small line. We leave it there for about a minute. You minus your saturation temperature from your liquid line temperature, and you get your subcooling. So this was the first half of the test. The second half of the test was the easy part, getting my return air, which is the air before it's put through the evaporator to cool, my supply air, the air after, or what's coming out of your air vents, your discharge air, which is coming out of the unit on the outside of your house, and then the rest was your indoor fan motor amps, your compressor amps, your outdoor fan motor amps, and what type of metering device it was, whether or not it was a fixed, a piston, or a capillary tube. Then you had to take and you had to draw it down here. So that's basically what we did for the final. Now let me move this out of the way, and I'll bring something in that I haven't shown anybody yet, but this is what we've been working on in class. This is the design cycle. This is based on a R22 system, as it says here. This shows the whole state of the refrigeration cycle. So this side is where this is your condenser. Let's say you're thinking about your unit on your home. This would be the outside unit. This is the saturation right here that I was talking about in the middle. This would be your evaporator, which is in either your attic or in a closet. This is where the air goes through the coil. It changes the state of the refrigerant and it comes out your supply. This is what's coming out your air vents. This is your metering device and this is your compressor. This is basically what they want you to see. These numbers are all the typical design cycle they want you to see, and then you work from there. You base your numbers off what you see here, and then you say, okay, well, what am I supposed to have? Now, this is only for R22. R410A is a lot different because these pressures are much higher. So, I know this was a lot of information. I don't want to teach anything, but this is what I've learned, and this is what's been drilled into our heads. So I wanted to give you just an understanding that, hey, this is what the fundamentals of refrigeration gave to me. They gave us this information. If you ask me any of these questions in regards to the states of the refrigerant, I can tell you. I can tell you what happens in the middle of this coil. I can tell you what happens in the middle of this coil. I can tell you exactly what the compressor does and what type of a compressor you have and what type of a metering device you have. I can troubleshoot a system somewhat proficiently now, but this is what we've been working on, just some little bits for you guys. So I'm going to end the video here, but if you have any questions or comments, post them below, leave me a like, subscribe, whatever you guys want to do, roast me. Feedback is great always, but I'll catch you guys in the next one.